People have apologies for that. We're in Nigeria, and this is about to happen. I had a bit of glitch in between there, and we're back. We are back, and that cannot stop all that we are going to be doing today. And so, thank you very much for your patience. Thank you for holding on. And like I was saying before, I was thrown out of the session uh, due to the glitch I experienced. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, I was actually saying that I would like for you all to permit me to introduce what we do at LSETF and how you can benefit from some of the things that we do at LSETF. LSETF is a government agency that has been created to help in enabling job creation for the people of Lagos. In doing this, we have different programs run here at LSETF, and some of those programs are loan programs, the employability program, the Lagos Innovate program, and the business support program. Our loan program seeks to support the MSME ecosystem. Oh, okay, okay. Let's work on that. Thank you very much for that feedback. Please tell me if it's better now. Can you hear me clearly now? Is it better?
Yes, I can.
Awesome. Thank you very much. That's so, as I was saying, you can benefit from the various programs that we have. The loan program seeks to support the MSME ecosystem to help you to expand your business, to help you to take your business to the next level, sustain your business. And this we do through the loan categories of businesses. And talking about the different categories of businesses, we're talking about the MSME, the MES, which is the micro enterprise startup, the ME, which is the micro enterprise, and then the SME, which is the smaller medium scale enterprise. The MES, which is the small businesses, being able to get or can be supported from the tune of 1,000. This is majorly for those that are just starting business or that have gone through one training or the other and would like, in order to benefit from this category of loan, you would have gotten that is well known in Lagos State. Then you would have your LASRA, and then you would definitely have your tax ID. Not necessarily that you have paid tax, but that you have a tax ID that shows that when you start business, you're definitely going to be compliant. Go to our website and log into our website to apply for our loan. Having said that, for the MES, for the ME, we see ME as a business that is unstructured but that has experience in business, and so such businesses can have from the tune of 50,000 to 500,000 naira. And these businesses just need to have your LASRA ID, your tax ID, your BVN, and 6 months bank statements to show that you've been in the business and that you've been running business for quite a while. And we also have the SME. SME is for those that are already structured businesses and they have taken all of the necessary steps to put their business in place. And so these businesses can get from the tune of 501 to 5 million naira. You need to show us your CSC, your LASRA, your BBN, your 6-month bank statement or a year bank statement, and then you can be able to apply for a loan on www.loans.lstf.ng. And having said this, you can also benefit from our business support program, which is one of what we're having today, where we're able to help you with, support you with capacity building opportunities, such as training, masterclasses, business advisory sessions, such as what we're having right now, and also boot camps, incubations and accelerations opportunities. And also we support you with business structures opportunities such as business registration, and then access to markets where we help you with different marketing opportunities, both physically and virtually, that can help to scale your business. We also have the Lagos Innovate that seeks to the tech ecosystem in Lagos State. And we have the employability team that sees to the empowerment of youths through this skills acquisition program that we run at LSETF. With all of this said, I would say that you should please visit our website on www.lsetf.ng. Or you can please follow us on all social media platforms to ensure that you get first-hand information on how you can benefit from LSETF programs and opportunities that can help to scale your businesses. And then back to why we're here today, my colleague will be putting on the chat box our websites, how you can, and also the sites to apply for the loan, and also any other information that would help you. You can, and then you want us to take this session, even if it's not so convenient for her, because of her love for impact, she has decided to do this because she plugs into what we do at LSCM. As one of our volunteers, she actually took up this facilitation today. I'm back. Thank you all very much. Yes, you can't hear anything because I was thrown out again, Oluwatobi, and sorry for that. I think my network today is not friendly, but that would not stop us from being able to achieve our purpose today. And so please join me to welcome Mercedes Ifon. She is an expert in HR and wealth of knowledge in HR and human resources experts. I mean, she's an ACIM, ACIPM, yes, and very versatile in what she does. And today she would be taking us through on how we can find the right talent, overcome the challenges of keeping those talents, and also retaining them for the growth of our business. And so, thank you very much. While I would like to see it in the chat box that we are welcoming Mercedes Ifon. Thank you, Mercedes. You have the floor. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Eric, for me. It's good to be here. Can everybody hear me? I just want to be sure that the mic is working well. The network is fine on my end. Wonderful perseverance from you, Mrs. Fumi. Please, if you can hear me very clearly, please put it in the chat box. I want to know that I'm not here alone and that I'm not speaking to myself alone. Let me see it in the chat box. Can you hear me clearly? Am I clear enough? Yes. Thank you, Olalikon. Thank you. Do we have only Olalikon here? Okoyemi says yes. Thank you for that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I want to be sure that you're here. Thank you, Amaka. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Shegun. Okay, we have a handful loud and clear. Thank you, Edgar. Thank you. It's a honor to be here. My name is Mercedes, popularly called Lady Mercedes Ifon, and it's a privilege to be here. Thank you, LSCTF, for the opportunity to give back to the society. I've been doing HR, helping businesses move their people strategy forward for about 14 years. So you can say that I've seen the ins and outs of hiring, retention, and what makes organizations sustainable. This topic is germane to every organization. I'm very, very close to my heart because I know what it's like firsthand to have bad talent. Number one, have a bad hire. Number two, have an unstructured process. Number three, lose good hands. And I believe we are all here because we don't want any of those to happen to us. So it's a pleasure to be here again. So I'm going to share my screen so that you can follow me. And I've loved to, I could talk without my slide, but I want you to please follow me. Host, can you please grant me sharing rights so that I can proceed to share? The request has been sent. So whilst I'm being granted sharing rights,
That's done.
I'd like
That's
to
done. Thank
know,
you.
thank you. I'd like to know where you're joining from and one thing you're looking forward to taking away from this session. So are you joining from Lagos? Are you joining from the UK? Are you joining from Bauchi? Anywhere? Let me know. Let me know who is in the room with me. And one thing you're looking forward to take away from this session. Amaka says Lagos. Oh, good to know that. Good to know that. Okay. Okay. Please let's get the chat box busy because you and I are in this room. We are going to be talking together. You're going to use the chat box a lot, a lot. So you should expect that. Please expect that. Okay, I see Lagos, two people from Lagos, Jude, Shegun, Adewale says, good afternoon, Mercedes from Lagos. Good to have, thank you, good to be here, good to be here. Thank you so much. So let's get into the business of today, which is effective hiring and retention strategies. I'm going to put it on slideshow so you can see my slide properly. Okay. So what are we talking about? Hiring, having the best talent in-house and keeping them. It's one thing to have good talent. It's another thing to keep them. Sometimes they don't stay. And that's the nightmare of every employer. I mean, you think that you've finally found the best fit for your organization, the best fit for a particular role you've been trying to fill. 6 months down the line, they're telling you they have to go. They found a better offer. Sometimes you didn't even see, you don't even see it coming. Other times you could suspect that this person is disengaged, they're trying to leave. Other times they just exit and you're wondering why. Where do I start from? What do we do now? So, did you know that bad hires cost 30% of their annual salary? This is from the Society of Human Resource Management, UK, US, sorry. So bad hires cost about 30% of an annual salary. What does this mean? If you're paid an employee, let's say 21 million per annum, 30% goes down the drain when you hire wrong. Lost time, delayed projects, misalignment. When you're supposed to yield, your business is supposed to yield profit, you're losing because they are not a fit for that role or not a fit for your organization. Sometimes they could be talented. They could be doing very well in whatever organization they were before you poached them or before they joined the organization. But due to systemic flaws, or even wrong recruitment process, you got someone that wasn't a fit for the role or a fit for your organization. Now, on retention, 50% of new hires quit within 18 months. Did you know that 50% of new hires quit within 18 months? That's why you'd see people on LinkedIn. It's like they're changing jobs every year. In fact, nowadays people don't bother putting a job before probation. They don't say I'm happy to announce that anymore. Who has noticed it? Some people still are very happy to announce, but people wait till after the probation period because you never can tell what kind of organization that is. They quit. And for people to join in the first place, they were enthusiastic, they were optimistic about what to expect. But when they got in, it didn't look like what they expected. And so they had to leave. 50% leave within 18 months. In fact, nowadays in HR, we say that if your people stay within 2 years, especially for tech firms, oh, they've tried. They've tried. That is how, okay, I need to share my screen again. Sorry. Oh, I'm still sharing. Okay. It didn't look like that from here. That is how bad it is. Please give me a minute. I'm trying to get back to my shared screen. Yes, back here. Now, replacing an employee can cost 1.5 times their annual salary. A bad hire can cost 30% of the annual salary. You're paying somebody 21 million. You bring in someone that is not a fit. 30% on the minimum goes down the drain. Now you want to replace an employee, let's say a very good one. You're going to spend money. You're going to spend time. You're going to spend resources. You might say it's just to recruit. Recruitment has a process. Recruitment, you invest your time. You invest in software. If you monetize all your recruitment efforts, you'll find out that you might have spent 1.5 times the annual salary or even the monthly salary. I would like to ask you a question. Have you rehired for the same role within a year? How many times have you rehired for the same role? How many times have you rehired for the same role? Let me see it in the comments. Let me see it in the comments. How many times have you rehired for the same role? Or have you done that at all? You hired somebody, and within a year, that role is empty. Someone left. You had to hire again. Let me know if you have rehired for the same role within a year. 2 times in 1 year. Thank you for being honest, Amaka. Thank you. Who else has experienced that? Sometimes organizations even hire for a role 4 times. So the first person comes in, 3 months, they're out. The other one comes in, 3 months, out. The third time, 3 months, out. Maybe the fourth one stays 4 months or 6 months. I know of an organization that if you stay there for 8 months, you have done so well. Like, what are you doing here? 8 months? What are you doing here for 8 months? Why are you here? It's now looking like you don't have anywhere else to go to. And that speaks to systemic issues. That speaks to systemic issues. I'm sharing my screen again for you to see. So why are we here? We want to stop that in and out. So at the end of this session, you would have understood hiring realities. We already started unpacking some practical recruitment strategies and sustainable talent retention strategies. Our goal is simple. Learn how to hire properly, learn the factors that influence great recruitment, learn the factors that influence retention. How can you keep your best talent in-house? That is our goal for today. If you have questions, please feel free to use the chat box. I'm sure that the admins will read them out when we get to our Q&A. So what's our paradox here in Nigeria? On one hand, we have a high rate of unemployment. It's staggering. It's staggering. As a human resource professional and organizational development specialist, and also a career coach, I can tell you that the rate of unemployment is staggering. It's too high, all-time high. And then on the other end, we can't find talents. We can't find talents. Where are the people? It seems like there's nobody. We are all struggling, fighting for one pool of limited resources, talents. Those people that know their onions, those that can deliver, because organizations, not all organizations are charity institutions. Run on money, you're not an NGO. If you're not even if you're an NGO, you need the right people to drive your vision. You need the right talents to drive your mission. You need the right people to stay on course. So there's youth unemployment, it exceeds 50%, according to research. And then talent shortage, on the other hand. Haven't you seen a time when you're at a function or you're even in the office, you want something to be done, and then you get into an office, one of the offices or the units in your organization, and you look around. There are people there, but you can't find anyone that has the skill that you require at that time. That's how it is right now. Lots of people, yet no people. You hear somebody say, there's nobody here. There's nobody here. But there are people now, there's nobody here. That is the paradox now. That is where we are. Japa wave has even reduced. It has reduced a bit. People are still living in droves. But thankfully, it has birthed the remote work strategies, but not all roles can even be done remotely. So what are we going to do about that? What should we do as business owners, as talent managers about the talent exodus or the talent paradox? What's the impact of hiring challenges? Project delays. When you don't have the right people or the right people don't stay with you, you have lots of project delays, poor delivery, high attrition. So when people constantly leave your organization, you just find out you're consistently training. There's always training going on because people are not staying. They're not staying. There's also loss of institutional knowledge. When people live with them, they live with the knowledge, they live with the know-how, technical know-how. Even if you have SOPs, you must have standard operating procedures. Yes, you must have SLAs, service level agreements. Yes, but you need the right people to run those things. You can have one recipe. If you give one recipe to two chefs, their meals would taste differently. One recipe, same recipe, different meal. It's the same with the workplace, institutional knowledge. Because I have a level of experience, if I'm put on a role that requires a skill of maybe 7 years of experience, I have 14 in HR. And then you put somebody else there that has maybe 5 years of experience, I will do it better. I might do it better than the person that has 5 years. Because now I'm majoring on the number of years of experience. I said might because sometimes I've seen in this industry that 12 years of experience, someone with 12 years of experience might not do things better than someone with 6 years of experience because it depends on the quality of the experience. Sometimes the one that has 10 or the one that has 12 or the one that has 4 has done 1 year, one thing over and over again. I'll say one thing 4 times, one thing 10 times, one thing 12 times. But someone that has 6 has gathered experience from different places and the job is enriched. Someone that has 6 or someone that has 2, I mean, greater than someone that has 4 because of the quality of experience. So how do talents carry out our business activities? How do they ensure that we are productive? There's something innate in that technical know-how, and that's why we have succession planning. But when you have people leave constantly, succession planning is difficult, almost impossible, because you never can tell. You never can tell how long they will stay in that particular role. Now, to ensure that you have the right people, strategy. You must have strategy. You must have a game plan. Strategy is a game plan. How are we going to do it? It has to be structured. You need to move from panic hiring. Oh, we just need somebody now. Oh, this person just resigned. We need to fill this role next month. And so you're looking for anybody that can just come and resume. Have you clarified skill set? Have you reviewed the role? Or are you posting a job that has the same job description for the role that you formulated 6 years ago? Assuming that a person had stayed 2 years on a particular role, there are chances that that role has changed from when the person was employed. The person's job has been enlarged. Sometimes we miss that part and don't update the job description. And so when it's time to hire, you take an old job description and just post it there. And then you get people with that outdated skill set. When they come in, you're wondering what's going on here. This person is not like Lagbaja. Lagbaja grew in that role. And you're saying, let's just get the bare minimum as long as the person will be around for handover. You're panicking. But if you have structure, if you have strategy, you wouldn't need to panic every time. Then there has to be a recruitment process. Yeah, it has to be systemical. What do we do first? What do we do now? What do we do next? Should we leave this to later? And then you must also have your eyes on retention and growth. After we've brought them in, how do we keep them? How do we develop our employees? That takes us to part 1 of what I'll call Talent Management 101. So welcome to Talent Management 101. And this part of our presentation is talking about effective recruitment strategies. What can you do to get the best talents? What can you do to get the best talents? Recruitment has 1 goal. 3 goals, 3 in 1. You need to get the right person. You need to have the right role. Everything has to be done at the right time. Time is of the essence in business. Everything in life has a timeline. So if you get the right person in the right role at the wrong time, it's of no use to you, of very little use to you. If you get the wrong person in the right role at the right time, chaos. If you get the right person in the wrong role at the right time, still going nowhere. So the right person, the right role at the right time. Right person, right role, right time. Right person, right role, right time. So what's the first recruitment strategy we are looking at? Employer branding. Who are you exactly? Who are you exactly? And this is where some organizations miss the point. Some employers think we have a role, we are going to get people in, we are superior to them. Newsflash, it's a level playing ground. You're going to pay them, yes. You're going to compensate them for their talents, for their skills, for their resources, for their time. So it's give and take. Who are you? Talents will always find out. Serious ones will find out what is online, what you have online. What's your online footprint like? As much as we employers verify employees are also checking us out. Do I really want to work in that organization? What's their LinkedIn page like? Are they online? Are they on Instagram? What do they post there? Who are their employees? So let me watch them. Let me see how they dress. You're being judged as well. You're being judged as well. They want to know, who are you? What's your culture like? What's your mission? What's your vision? There are certain organizations I can't work with because of my own personal bias. But how do I know I can't work there? Because I would have researched them. Great organizations. Sometimes when I say personal bias, it could even be timing, schedule. It doesn't align with my own schedule. Oh, great organization, but sorry, I can't work there. I don't like the schedule. I don't like what is being said online about that organization. What are your talents saying? What are your employees saying? And what are your alumni saying about your organization? Can they refer your organization to anybody? So what do? Showcase your culture and mission. In this day and age, if your business is not online, I wonder why your business will not be online, even if it's a landing page, even if it's a LinkedIn page. They need to find out who you are. And don't get me wrong, showcasing your products and services that is different from showcasing your people. Because they check, do they recognize their people? Do you know something as little as celebrating birthdays and recognizing people that have great talents in the organization? It goes a long way. Those things go a long way. Because if you showcase an employee, giving them a thumbs up on social media, some people say, but they'll come and poach our employees. Whether you showcase or not, they will still poach. But how do you make your employees feel? If you feature your employee, even if it's happy birthday on a social media page, they will repost. That way they are being brand ambassadors. Share employee stories, authentic testimonials to demonstrate positive work culture and to build trust. Some people buy reviews. Some organizations buy reviews. I hope that we are not like those organizations in this room. So they go and pay some people to type good reviews like employees on Glassdoor. The truth will always come out because the ones that are in the system will go and say, don't believe these reviews, they are paid, they're sponsored. People will always talk. Highlight growth opportunities. They want to know how people have moved from one position to another. If I were to take up a job, perhaps I saw an opportunity I got interested in, I will research the organization. I will research the people in management. I'll research them. How have they grown in that organization? How long have they stayed there? How long have they been there? What have they done? That is what every employee, serious talent that you need will do. Research you. And then branding. We are still on branding. Let your employees act as brand ambassadors. We're getting there. We'll also get to know how your employees can become your brand ambassadors. It's just by asking them, why are you here? What keeps you here? What will keep you longer? What should we stop doing? What should we start doing? What should we continue doing? That will even give you insight into why your employees are staying in the first place. The second step is design a clear job role. Design clear job roles and realistic expectations. I'm kind of seeing a trend recently where one job description carries multiple job roles. I'm not talking about dual job roles, 3 or 4. And I'm wondering, am I reading the marketing JD or an HR JD or a finance JD? When you overload your job description or job roles, it becomes unrealistic because you might even be asking for skill sets that are exclusively that are mutually exclusive. You want someone to run your sales and marketing, and then you want someone that will also be in finance. Time. How do they structure their time? One needs mental acuity, that one needs to be very meticulous for finance, just to avoid mistakes. And then for the one that you want in marketing, people powers. They must prioritize talking to people, introducing your business to people. But if you're having job roles, job descriptions that are not clear, you won't get the right people. You won't get the right, you only get people that want to take the job as a stop plug. They need the money. Once they get something else, they're out of the door. In fact, they're out of the window, they'll fly out, they'll leave your business alone. So what can you do? Define core responsibilities. Clearly define the main task and duties to provide focus and clarity for the role. We all know that there's a clause, there's a line that says, and other responsibilities as assigned. But the core responsibilities need to be clear. What exactly will I be doing? And that's how you get the right people. Your job ad must be real. It must be right. It must be error-free. If you're sourcing for talent in Lagos, please don't make a mistake and put Abuja. I've seen that before. As ridiculous as it sounds, I've seen that before. And then it was edited to say, oh, sorry, we meant Lagos. So they had to do two job posts. But the role was in Lagos. Somebody did not have due diligence and put Abuja. Set realistic expectations. Communicate the key performance indicators. How will this role be measured? How will success on this role be measured? People have to know. Either on the job ad or the JD itself. I, for one, always advocate that you put at least 4 key performance indicators in the job ad. So people can know that this is what I will be appraised on when I get into the organization. Can I do it? Can I keep up? Is this really what I can do? Or will I just go and wing it? So step 1, have a good employer brand. What is being said about you online? Some have none. Some have a bad one. So if you have none, you have an opportunity to build something great. If you have a bad reputation online, you won't get great people. You should work on your culture. You need a culture overhaul. If all your employees are complaining and you're thinking, well, people come, they're all what, mediocre, it might not be them. It might be time to look into the mirror. The third strategy is to diversify sourcing channels. Don't just post one job ad and say, oh, that's fine, I'll wait for people to apply. Where are you posting? Where are you posting? And do you know that it's not even all job roles that you post? You don't need to post every job role, as long as you know where to find your talents. Referrals. If you have great talent in-house, ask them to refer. Most times people refer people like themselves. Ask your top talents to refer. You could even have a referral program in-house. In fact, I know an organization that has a referral program, and then they give their in-house employees some bonuses when the employees they had referred stay for a number of years. Not just staying, but are also productive. So it's not a holding cell. It's not a cell where people just wait and say, okay, let me just mark time so I can get, my friend can get user a bonus and share with me. You have to perform. Right? The second thing, use social media. Use social media. LinkedIn, you can use Facebook, you can use Instagram. You should also use applicant tracking systems. There are lots and lots of good job softwares around. Find out, just research. Not all are even paid. Some are free. If you have a free Indeed account, it will also help you. If you have a free Jobberman account to help you, it's not sponsored at all. But these are also tools I use aside so many others. At my organization at Star Guide, we have a good number of ATS, applicant tracking systems, where if you post one job, it goes on over 10 job boards. So you can tell the influx. We get the quality, we have quality, and then we have quantity. Diversify your sourcing channels. Even at that, we don't rely only on the ATS. We still talk to people. Do you know somebody? Can you refer? They will still go through our screening process, yes, but sometimes it's shorter when you know people. All right. And so you can also leverage internships. If you're a startup and then you don't have much cash, you can leverage internship. Start succession planning from there. Right? And also use your local networks and association. Join associations on LinkedIn. Lots of groups are there. Lots of groups on WhatsApp. In fact, thank God for WhatsApp channel now. There are lots of channels, job boards, where you can just post your job ad and get people apply. A friend of mine was having a hard time filling the role of an HR officer for organization, and she reached out to me and said, "Mercedes, I need your help. I'm looking to hire an HR person." Okay, let me see the JD. Sent it to me. I edited it. Is this fine? She said yes. I said I'll drop it in my groups. I dropped it in just two platforms. 1 hour later, she was saying, "I don't want again." They've applied. They are still applying. They applied. So where are you targeting? What jobs? What boards are you targeting? What network? 1 hour later, she said, "Please tell them it's okay. We've had over 100 already." Yet, before she approached me, she was finding it difficult to fill that role. So please don't just post one ad and think everybody will apply. They might apply. There are times that you're looking to fill just one role, and then you will have maybe 200 applications. And out of 200, you can only shortlist 3. Who has experienced that before? Let me know that you're still here. Out of 200, you might just get 3 good candidates that you can shortlist. Have you experienced that before on this call? If you have, please type yes in the chat box. We move to step 4. What is the 4th strategy? Yes, I have. 8 girl. Thank you, Amaka. Thank you so much. And sometimes you'll be so happy thinking, "Oh, thank God, applicants, they're applying." And when you sit down to shortlist, you see, there's nobody here. There's nothing here. You almost have panic attack. There's nobody here. Thankful for applicant tracking systems. We also use Zoho Recruit in my organization, aside the standard HR. So it just helps us shortlist according to the JD. So by posting the job description and the resume and picks out what's important. So it does help us, it helps us rank the candidates. So we just find out, just go and check ranking 80%, 70%, 60%. There are times I tell my team, let's look at those CVs that are ranked very low. Let's see what's there. Sometimes you get your talents from even those lowly ranked CVs, because technology is not 100%. Sometimes people know how to write beat AI or the ATS, so they go and just lift the JD, put it on their CV. They come before you and you're wondering, is this the same person that has this CV? There's a mismatch. Some are not excellent CV writers, but it takes someone that is experienced to know, I think this person has the skill set. Let's take a chance on this person. Let's speak to this person. So selection tools. Structured selection techniques. Use structured interviews as much as possible. Give practical tasks. I know of an organization that that have different assessments, but not all are even relevant to the role. So you might be on one assessment for 2 hours, and it's just one skill set they are trying to measure or confirm. But that particular test is screening like 10 of your skill sets, but they need just one. So why don't you? I told them, just get a tool that can screen free. If you're looking for just one skill set and you want to be able to pick, maybe select, have a targeted assessment. Have that assessment tool that measures exactly what you're looking for. Because even when your recruitment process gets too long, people drop off. People drop off. Not everybody has that perseverance. People begin to think that, no, these guys don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they want. They don't know what they want. So consistent, structured interviews, practical tasks, aptitude tests. Not all roles require this, but your personality test, you should take that. We always coming in, because somebody can be technically fit, but not be behaviorally fit or culturally fit. And that means you must know the composition of your people. Who are your people? If I bring this person on board, will it help our composition, our team, or will it cause problems for us? Communicate regularly with your candidates. Think of all the times that you have gone through, you have gone through a hiring pipeline and you were ghosted. Oh, we'll schedule you for an interview. We will. That day has still not come till today. No feedback. Or you went for an interview and then they said they'll get back to you in 2 weeks. The 2 weeks has now elapsed, even though it's been 5 years. So how are you communicating with your candidates? Because those people are also, they are potential ambassadors. Even when they don't get the job, as long as they are being treated properly, they'll put in the good word for you. More often than not, they'll put in a good word for you. So role-related practical assignments, I said this before. Ensure that your tasks are practical and they reveal the abilities relevant to the role. Don't waste people's time. Don't waste your time all because you have the tools. The assessment you give a finance person, you might not give someone that is into strategy. So ask yourself, is this tool reliable? And will it give us valid results? What exactly are we looking out for? And of course, enhance your candidate experience. Communicate time-shortly, like I said before. Respect. There's a trend that I'm not very comfortable with, and I don't subscribe to that. It's because of the rise of remote work, virtual interviews. Lots of interviewers switch off their videos, but expect candidates to switch theirs on during an interview. It's wrong. It's wrong, and it strikes an imbalance between yourself and yourself. There's an imbalance. They can't read your body language. You're reading theirs, but they can't read yours. They don't know if you're paying attention to them. They don't know if you're engaged at all. It strikes an imbalance. If there are times I cannot switch on my video during an interview, I apologize. And I say, okay, I've seen you. You can switch yourself. You can switch off yours if you want to. It's fine. Other times they'll say, okay, no, ma'am, I'll leave mine on. Or they'll say, oh, thank you very much. Or sometimes network will be in the way. Switch off your camera, please. Switch off your video. We can talk. But please, as much as you can, let's know that an interview process is not an interrogation. It's a discussion. It's actually a discussion, not an interrogation. You want to know more about them. They also want to know more about you. You are both being evaluated. It's give and take. So when they appear before you, please be polite. Please be cautious. Even when they appear badly. There are times that I've interviewed candidates. There was one I interviewed and he was like this on his bed. He was on his bed and it was like it was it was lounging. I was like, what have I not seen in this street? I continued the interview and asked him to please comport himself properly. He was even wearing something like a singlet. A sleeveless was like almost like a singlet. And I was wondering, what are we doing here? Of course, I didn't spend much time with him because I knew that I wouldn't recommend that candidate to my client. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that at all. I just politely wrapped up the interview and then told him if the client wants to see him, we'll contact him. Of course, I wasn't even going to present him in the first place because we can. Other times, we are ladies on the call. Somebody can be wearing hairnet and appear funny. And you're wondering, what? No etiquette, no interview etiquette. Goes back to the point when I said there are people, but talent, there's a shortage of talent. So in that case, I would have said, do you know you're not interview? I would have gone ballistic. I would have gone ballistic. No matter how angry or angered I was, I would have gone ballistic because it will rub off badly on the brand. And we are in the age of social media where anything the people can play on emotions. They can just go on Twitter and say, I interviewed with XYZ firm, and the interviewer was so rude, he was so this, she was so that. They won't say what they did. Nobody says what they did now. They wouldn't say what they did or how they appeared. It's just you. So how do you also comport yourself during an interview? How do you make your candidates feel? Do you feel like you're lording over them? There are times I have gone to an interview, I've spoken to people there, and I tell myself, I'm not going to go ahead with this this application process. No, I wouldn't. Even when I'm referred, I tell myself, no, I wouldn't. I tell my referrer, I cannot. We are not a fit. I've also evaluated them. I don't like the way I felt. And they were condescending. If I have to work with this person, I'll regret going to work every day. I can't do this. I'm going to withdraw my application. Thank you. I might have been the right person for the job, for that particular role, but not the right person for that organization. So what vibe are you putting out there? All right, so we have spoken about 4 strategies that you can use to hire the right fit, and that forms a recruitment framework. When you combine your employer branding, you combine job descriptions, you combine sourcing, the right sourcing channels, the right selection process as well, and you have a great candidate experience, that creates your strong recruitment framework. That way you have the right people. It's not rocket science. It's system. It's structure. It's intentional. You need to know what you're looking for, where to find what you're looking for, and how to get them attracted to you. You need to know what you're looking for, where to find what you're looking for, and how to make them stay. Get them in and make them stay. So now we are in part 2 of our talent management class, and we're talking on effective retention strategies. You've gotten them in. How long can they stay? Why should they stay? Why does retention matter? It saves money. It saves money. Newsflash, retention is cheaper than recruitment. Retention is cheaper and it's better than constantly recruiting. You see this bucket? Once you have people that constantly leave your system, this is what happens. It's a leaky bucket. It's always overflowing. People are not staying. They're coming in and then they're going out. Coming in, going out. Your business cannot run on this. Your business cannot survive on this. Retention builds culture. It helps you to sustain growth. It builds loyalty. Ask yourself, am I the kind of, if I were an employee, would I stay with my organization? The same way we ask the employees to ask them, we tell employees to ask themselves, if I were my boss, will I employ me? If I were to be an employee, will I stay with this organization? I wanted that to sink in properly. 20%. Let me tell you what happens. 20% of it. 20%. Within the first 2 months, 20% of employees are disengaged. So you've done all the work. You spent money on recruitment. You've bought recruitment tools. You have a structured process. You have done all you can. But 20% of your employees are disengaged in the first 2 months. Why? How come? What's going on? Stay with me. 30%. Within the first 3 months, 30% of employees are disengaged. They're looking elsewhere. They're looking elsewhere. You got the right people, but why are you not keeping them? And then now 40%. Can you see the trend of how it grows? By month 6, 40% are looking for a way out. They just want to leave. They've seen that you're not a fit. I can't thrive here. This is not a place I would love to work. And that is why a group of employees they don't bother updating their LinkedIn until after probation. Let's know what we are doing. Because it's so sad to go and write, I'm excited to share on LinkedIn. 6 months down the line, I'm not even there. You want to be there, but they kick you out. Or you get another job. So 6 months again, I'm happy to share. It shows that you're a job hopper, so your chances are even slimmer. So they just say, you know what, let's wait. Let's evaluate each other to see if we are a fit. So how can we stop this from happening in your organization? Onboarding. Onboarding. People overlook onboarding, and it's wrong. You need to have a structured orientation process. Orientation is when you tell your employees about the organization, the policies, what's acceptable, what is not. But onboarding runs through month 6, day 1 to month 6, day 1 to month 12. I read a study somewhere years back that said that employees begin to actually acclimatize to an organization after a year. So you would have gotten loyalty after a year. You would have seen profitability after a year. Of course, except it's sales and marketing, numbers. People don't pay attention to onboarding, and that is wrong. In fact, your onboarding should start from before they get into the organization. Don't wait till they resume. They've gone through your process, they've accepted the offer. Build momentum, build excitement, create a body system. Tell them what to expect the first day, the first week, the first month. So what you can do is identify culture ambassadors, those ones that mirror your values in the organization. Let them be bodies. They can body people in their own department or even those outside their department. So I'm personally a fan of the two-body system, where one body is in one's department and then the other body is outside the department. Just so your new hires are not left alone. There are times that employees resume at work at a place and they're asked, who are you? I've experienced it before. I was even the HR manager. I was the HR manager. I just got a job as the HR manager some years back. And I got there the first day, and I was being looked at like this, like, who is this? Security man said, I told security man, okay, I'm supposed to resume here today. I'm the new HR manager. Oh, okay, welcome, madam. Then the second, the employer I met was like, okay, who are you? What are you waiting for? So there was nobody except the GM that knew that I was coming in. That's wrong. There should have been an announcement. If somebody is coming in, somebody is coming in. Someone should have called. I just told myself, oh, that's why I'm being employed. I see a need here. In fact, in that organization, I was able to build the HR department from the ground up. They didn't have any HR structure. I was the first in-house HR manager after 10 years. They didn't have structure. They were structureless. So I knew that, oh, this is exactly why I was employed, as well as other interventions. So your new hires must feel welcome before they get to day one. Have somebody call them, hello, I'm Kemi from XYZ. I'm in your department. You're in the same department. We are looking forward to seeing you next week. 3 days before they resume, I'm just checking in on you. HR can call, just checking up on you. Is everything going on well? Here's our dress code. Would you like clarity on anything? Here's what to expect on your first day. Here's what to expect within the first week, within the first month. That way, they already feel attracted to the organization. You're building engagement even before they get in. Don't forget that you're not the only one talking to candidates. The candidates you're fighting for, three other organizations are talking to them. So it's not new to us in the recruitment space when we have gotten a great candidate for a client, and then they just say, oh, sorry, please, I can't resume again. I got another offer. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't join the interview today. I just got another offer. Wow. If you're in recruitment, you know how that makes you feel. Wow. You're not the only one looking for these people. Make sure that they know what to expect. It helps them build confidence. What's the dress code? Is business casual or please corporate? If your dress code is corporate and then they're coming from maybe a fintech where it's business casual, if they appear without their attire, they'll feel out of place. They'll feel so that trumps their confidence. No connection. You need to build connection from day one. Culture, here it is again. Culture is strategy for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So even if you have a great system, even if you have structure, culture is the heart of the matter. How things are being done, the vibes in the workplace, how people communicate, how power is being distributed, what's acceptable here, how new hires are being treated. There are some organizations where new hires are being outcasted, so they don't welcome them. The employees there give them the cold shoulder until after 6 months because they feel like, who is this person? They don't rate new hires because they feel like they just don't need to. Culture. People will always quit for the bad culture. For wrong, they will quit every time. Culture, how things are being done. I remember when I was one of those workplaces I didn't like going to. My friend and I, we were having a discussion one day, and then I said, I always have a headache whenever I'm on the streets of this workplace. She said, Mercedes, me too. Yeah. Said, yes, I always feel very tired. This was maybe 7 years ago or 8 years ago. I don't like the way this workplace makes me feel. Culture. We were so disengaged. We were so happy to leave the organization within 2 years, before our 2 year mark. We ran. So even if the hiring process was good, we got in and it was sour. How do you encourage open dialogue and feedback? Do your employees feel heard? Do they feel valued? that significantly reduces turnover, whether you like it or not, because you know how they are feeling. Do they know how their role contributes to the overarching goals? Do they know the impact that they make in the organization? Someone might say it's just the cleaner, she's just the janitor. That person's role is very important and they must feel like it. Imagine if your cleaner doesn't come within 2 days, the janitor is not around for one day. For one day. Yet some will feel like that's not a very important role. How do your employees feel about the work, their jobs? Are they spoken down on? Are they shouted at? Are they being maltreated? If that is the case, they won't stay. You will keep on having a high attrition rate. The next way you can keep your employees is career development. Training and upskilling is a non-negotiable. People don't just stay for money, they stay for progress. People don't just stay for money, they stay for progress. How am I growing? The money is good, but am I also growing intellectually? Has my skill set broadened on getting to this organization, or am I being underutilized? And the danger of having a packed JD, unrealistic one, is that you get people with very high talent, but when they come in, you're making use of only 30% of their skills. So they're getting redundant. They will leave. No matter how highly you're paying them, they will leave. They will leave. Because they know that if they stay with your organization for 1 year, they will be worse than when they joined you. In that way, their chances of getting a higher role is being limited. Because they recognize that value speaks. Value speaks. So you must train, you must upskill. Also, invest in mentorship and coaching. Mentorship and coaching is a given. That has to happen in your organization. Develop your HR and professionals. They know how to mentor most of the time. Have a mentorship program, not just for HR. Senior managers should mentor the younger ones. In fact, have reverse mentoring. Have a time where the Gen Zs teach the millennials and the baby boomers something. That's reverse mentoring. That's where everybody feels important. Everybody, there's this thing, there's a connection there. Clear career pathways. This is different from just increasing salaries. They want to know, if I stay with you for 2 years, what's in it for me? Would I have moved, grown in terms of responsibilities? What's here for me? And then step 4, rewards and recognition, of course. People skip step 1, step 2, step 3, and they jump at step 4. He said, just advertise a very huge amount, very huge salary. Don't worry, they'll come. We have the money, they'll come over, they stay. Or people say, employers say, that all they need is money. All they want is not just money. They are non-financial recognition. Fair pay is very important. If you can't pay market rate, you're paying below market rate, you must balance it up with benefits. Why should they stay? Flexible work options, software, have something else for them. HMO. Why should they come to work? Why should they stay with you? Culture. Some organizations don't pay too well, but the culture is great. Employees stay. Peace of mind. They say, you know what, I can live within my means. Don't worry, I will live within my means here. Because I have the peace of mind. I can think, I'm creative here. And then there's non-financial recognition, praise. Just having a stand up to say, shout out to say, thank you to XYZ employee. They'll always feel better. Give awards, milestone celebrations. Your employee has passed their probation period, celebrate them. Well done. Well done. And the thing about probation is that I see a mistake being done is some organizations wait till the 6 month mark before they have the conversation. In all the organizations I've done HR in, the structure I've put for onboarding probation is the 2nd month, the 4th month, and the 6th month, you must have a conversation, you must have a review so that we can catch the bug early. We can nip it in the board. If my employee is being disengaged, I will know by month 2 and see how to recover them before they exit in month 4 or exit in month 6. Have those conversations. If they're not doing too well, we tell them, oh, you need to improve in these areas. Don't forget that for you to pass your probation, you must have a grade of 3.5, 4.5, 5.5. They know what's at stake. How can we support you? How can we help you? You have those conversations. Give flexible work options if you can. If it's 3 days on site, 2 days off site, that goes a long way than just having 5 days on site. It also depends on your industry. Now, if you're in an industry that permits remote work or hybrid, I'm a fan of hybrid work than remote or on site, but it depends on your industry. Now, if your competitor gives their employees 2 days on site, 3 days off site, and you are giving your employees, your work schedule is 5 days on site, your employees will most likely move to your competitor because they'll have flexibility, they have time, they'll be able to catch their breath in whatever city they live, especially if it's in Lagos. Can you see how seemingly minute factors can make your employees move, jump ship from your organization? You must have environmental scanning. What's going on in our industry? Where are our employees leaving us to? Where are employees leaving us to? Where are they going? Why are they leaving? Why? And then you address the why. Mental health and respect. If your employees are being disrespected, they will not stay. They will not stay. Mental disorder is on the increase now. You hear lots and lots of suicide cases. It was never so 10 years ago. It wasn't even so by 2019. This rate wasn't as high as it is now. Some will say it was always there, but technology, I would say it has increased. It's seeming like our resilience is reducing because of pressure. People face lots of pressure outside the workplace. Can we not make the workplace burdening for them as well? You never can tell what someone is going through at home. People smile, people talk, but when they come to work, can they come with their best self? Can they feel like they are here and they are here to earn a living and enjoy earning that living while with you? Moving on very quickly, step 5 and the last one for retention is stay interviews. Stay interviews. These are different from exit interviews. By the time you're conducting exit interviews and collating data, it's already getting late. It's too late because people are out of the door already. But while you still have employees with you, if you can have your stay interviews once a year, twice a year, to do you good. They help you understand why your employees are with you and why they will leave, how soon they will leave. It helps to know their pain points. Like I said earlier, ask them, why are you staying? What should we continue doing? What should we stop doing? What should we start doing? Among your questionnaire, your engagement questionnaire. That's will reveal data. Make it anonymous. And if you tell them it's anonymous, please let it really be anonymous because trust is fragile. Trust is fragile. The data you collect at the point of exit interview is still valid, but avoidable. So that's why we should act before resignation. If you are a line manager on this call, talk to your employees. How do they feel? In fact, during appraisal, for appraisal, we should have bottom-top appraisal. Subordinates should be able to appraise their line managers, but you must ensure that the criteria is clearly spelled out. So if they're giving their line manager a 1 out of 4, 1 being the lowest, 4 being the highest, why? Why? Why exactly? Because employees, most of the time, they quit managers. Managers are the faces of the organization. They don't see the board, they see you. That's why you can have a toxic organization. There will be some units where they will live in droves. For some other units, nobody is leaving. Why are you not leaving? You have a good boss. She shields us. He shields us. Very understanding. She's transparent. There's nobody hiding or riding on the back of other employees to say monkey is, pardon this pigeon. I think what they say, monkey they work, baboon they chop. I think that is it. Please, that get it. So let me know in the chat box. She communicates with us. So what kind of manager are you? As we wrap up now, wasn't that retention framework? We've gone through the retention framework already. Retention is intentional and consistent effort. You don't put in the effort today and then stop tomorrow. The impact will be felt. Now we have a case study, and this is where I would love for people to please tell me something in the chat room, or just please engage. If not, I'll call your name. Before we go into the case, very short case study. So we need, let's say 4 people. Can we have your hand up? Can you please have a show of hand? Show of hand. Let me know that you're here. If you're still here, please put something in the chat. Let me know you're here. Thank you, Oluwatobi Jinadu. Thank you so much. Another person, I need 3 more people that will help us in our case study. Let me see who is. Oluwatobi, thank you. Who is joining Oluwatobi here? Who is joining Oluwatobi? Thank you, Joseph, Adewale, Shegun. They all say they are here. Thank you, thank you. So let me read the case study whilst the other people join us. Join Toby. You don't want to raise them because you don't know what the case study is about, Avi. Thank you, Farouk, Amaka, Ngozi. So let me read it. It's a very simple one, but I need your input here. Now, a mid-sized, thank you, Adewale. Thank you. I see other hands up. I see 3 hands up. Thank you, Olaleko. One more, please. Now, a mid-sized company is losing 4 out of 10 employees, 40% within the first year. Within year 1, 40% are leaving. They leave. Exit interviews point to poor onboarding and no clear career path. Exit interviews say, I don't know what, I felt disconnected when I first came here. I really don't know what my role is about. No clear career path. I've been here for quite some time, but it seems like I'm not going to grow beyond this, so I have to leave. Despite competitive salaries, turnover is high. And you know, you think that 40% is high, right? I've seen and worked with an organization where we're able to put things together for them to stop that attrition rate. They had a rate of 65%. The hands are going down. Why? Please leave your hands up. Oh. Leave your hands up, please. I'll soon call you. Thank you. There was a 4th hand. Please leave your hands up. We'll discuss now. As a business leader, thank you. As a business leader, this is what you should answer now. What would you do differently to fix this? And as an HR lead, how would you partner with leadership to solve this? Oluwatobi, you want to go first? You can answer either of the questions. So I would prefer if 2 people answer this part of the question that says, as a business leader, what would you do differently to fix this? And as an HR lead, the other two, what would you do differently? How would you partner with leadership to solve this? You have the floor, please. You can unmute and speak. For those in the audience, you can also drop your answers in the chat box. Let's do this. Who's ready? Oluwatobi, you want to go now? You can unmute, I believe. Okay, Olalekon has
Yes,
unmuted. Okay,
ma. Good afternoon, everyone.
Oluwatobi first. Thank you. Good afternoon, Oluwatobi.
Okay. Good afternoon. Thanks very much for the insight and lecture. As a business leader, the first thing I will do, as an HR personnel, I've also find myself in cases like this and also running some personal businesses. So I think one of the most important thing, the first thing is most times some companies usually don't have a structure in place, but even before they have a structure, sometimes they don't have a clear, I don't know, maybe I should call it like company information or company profile documents that talks about their mission, their values, and all that. Because I find myself in a lot of companies that claim to have to be startup. So one of the things is first, is there a company profile, like a detailed information about the company? Second, there should be a structure in place for team structure and all that. Automatically, when those two things are in place, especially structure, the case of responsibilities for each department will be easier and will be easier to track. So I think from there we can now know, okay, this department, you are in charge of this, you are in charge of this, and when you have new members, this is how things are to be done. So I think the first step is company information or company profile. Second step is structure. That structure will lead to clarity, and it will lead to clarity of responsibilities and expectations. Then from there, we can now be able to now track the performance of each department and their team. So automatically, every team member that comes in, the part of onboarding, the part of feedback, I believe in three things. Whenever I talk to business or team or members, I usually tell them everything is just centered on three things. The first thing is content, the second thing is clients, and the third thing is feedback.
Thank
Now,
you.
content.
Thank you.
Content
Thank you
is
so much. Let's leave some for others. Thank you so much, Oluwatobi.
okay.
Sorry to cut you
All
in, but
right.
let's leave some for others. So don't say you took it out of their mouth. Thank you. You're giving a very robust
Okay.
response. Thank you
Okay.
so
Thank
much.
you.
Learned a lot from you. Thank you. Olalekon, you unmuted before. You would like to go next. Please
Okay,
proceed.
for me, in terms of the clear career path, you said it before
Sorry, I can't
now.
hear you clearly.
Okay, just a moment. All right.
Can
Is it
anybody
better?
else hear? Yes, it's better, a lot better.
Okay. So you said it earlier on, employees need to get to a point where they own, they own the company, so to say. They feel that they are part of the company, they feel that they are part of the progress of the company. They are not just in for the money. Even those who are in for the money, they do a company and then get absorbed by the culture of the owner and the people who are working there. So they change their attitude and perspective towards the company. They begin to feel that, hey, we are here for the progress of this organization. So having said that, if they're not in just for the money, then they probably joined you because they feel that they have a future.
Yes.
So they must, while they're working for you, they must see themselves going forward. You also mentioned the issue of training, continuous career development. The company, as a business owner, I would, as a matter of fact, there's something I'm going to throw in later. We've not got there because I just posted vacancies 2 days ago. So when I saw this webinar coming up, I said, wow, this is really for me. Before I go too far, I'm at the point of recruitment. But the advert I posted, I said by Friday, it will be closing by Friday this week. So, and look at me. Anyway, when I will post the advert, so you'll be able to critique it. Everybody will look at it, and you probably find a lot of flaws there based on what we have learned. So, um, I want people who work for me to have a future. I should be interested in their progress.
Yes.
And I also want to know, anyway, let me close with this. I've had to encourage my staff in the past to go for further education,
Mm.
knowing that some of them would have to leave. Some of them I had to ask them to join a national open university so they could also
Mm.
still be working and going to school. So once they know that you are interested in their
The
lives,
growth.
then
Mm.
it's better for you. Okay, and the
Yeah.
more, and I also say, for as a church leader, for example, I used to say that when we train our people, we empower them to work better for us, for the church.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Same way with the organization. Well, I used to also to say that a bank can spend up to #1 million to send 10 staff for a seminar. Staff that
Mm-hmm.
can leave in months. But guess
Right.
what? I always believed, and I stand to be corrected, that in the 6 months they will remain before they move, the company will have collected more than that 1 million from their work.
Absolutely.
Because the employer is not crazy. So have develop interest in the progress and the future of your staff. If you do
Thank
that, they
you.
will work better for you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Lalekon. Valid points. Thank you so much for that contribution. So we have the other two. Let's see. Let's see. Farouk and Adewale. So please talk about this from the HR point of view. You know the issue. Luckily, your exit interview has told you what is going on. What would you do? How would you partner with leadership to solve this germane problem? Farouk, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much for the opportunity. So for me, while you said we should talk on the HR part, I think both of them are linked because while the leadership or as a business leader, I will be tasked with ensuring that we reduce such turnovers because it's a negative impact on the business. It also lies in the HR's hands to ensure that these employees feel at home or feel a sense of belonging within the organization in order to prevent them from leaving the company. So as someone that is working in a corporate setting and also runs his own business, I think there are two major things to consider as an HR. Firstly, new employees should be put through on the job training programs. So after the interview and after they've been onboarded, they shouldn't just be slotted into the roles they were employed for immediately. Rather, they should be put on the job trainings, which will be like maybe 6 months or 1 year program within the organization. So, for example, if it's an organization that has about 6 departments within the scope of the employee's job, it will be advised that the newly employed employee, maybe uses about maybe 2 months each in each department that relates to his own capabilities. So after that 1 year program and after he has done the training, through that he's able to familiarize himself with the culture of the organization, the structure, the wants and needs. That training alone will make him know if he or she belongs in this setting or not. And by that time, at the end of the training, the HR can now call the employee. All right, what is your feedback based on all the places, all the departments you have worked? What is your feedback on it? Which one do you prefer? What are the improvements you will suggest? Where will you prefer most to work in out of those departments? So while the HR is going to be tasked with balancing manning gaps, that is maybe shortage of employees in some departments, he also has to consider the talents and the needs of the employee in order to make sure that it doesn't fix square pegs in round holes, which in fact will result in high employee turnover. So I think for me, the first thing is on the job trainings for the employees. Then secondly, I will advise the management to mandate or encourage continuous career development, as the previous speaker mentioned. That is the bread and butter of sustainability in an organization. When employees become stagnant in their technical and educational journey, then it impacts the organization negatively. So the HR in this case will have to encourage the employee and also encourage the management to put in place structures that will make the employee see that he has a future in this business, or he has a future in this organization, or this organization is somewhere I would like to work in the future. So in that
Thank you
case,
so much.
what the HR can do is maybe encourage further education, and then implement, just advise, post banners or post the information regarding professional courses that the employee can assign to, and then
Mm-hmm.
also encourage the management to put in maybe allowances or leaves for learners, so that whenever they have
Yes.
exams, they don't fear having to take breaks from the, or maybe they
Annual
don't fear
annual
having to,
leave.
yeah,
Yes.
yes, from the work, maybe for the fear of being fired or being sacked. So the
Right.
leaves or the allowances will make them feel more comfortable going for their professional development. So that's it for
Right.
me.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that robust reply. Full of lessons, full of lessons. Thank you so much. I love the fact that you touched on the leave and also job rotation. That rotation you spoke about is possible mostly when you have junior to mid employees. For senior, very senior employees, because we bring them in for a specific purpose, it might sometimes be difficult to have that rotation at that the first 6 months, because you want them to begin to really understand their role. But it's still possible after a period of time when they must have acclimatized to the business. Thank you so much. Examination leave, very important. I remember that was also something I'd referred, or an initiative I brought up during one of my lives. There was the annual leave, and then we had the examination leave for people that, so just to encourage people that upskill. And what we also did then was to give them bonuses. So once somebody had the certification, we blew their trumpets louder than themselves around the whole organization. And we found out that that worked, because people love recognition. So once they complete a specific certification, they will submit HR. I've completed the certification. Hey, announcement, hailings everywhere. They feel good. And I will tell them, now translate that skill into your role. Let's see that you have really passed through the school. Your productivity must be different now. In fact, most times we tie it to promotion. For you to move from point A to point B, they must know what is required to move from point A to point B. Adewale, thank you. You're still raising your hand. I know. I'll call you. They must know what it requires to move from point A to point B. Do I need to get an MBA? What certification do I need to have? What appraisal score must I have? That way, they don't think that it's nepotism or it's all politics in your organization. All right, Adewale, please go ahead.
All right, thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for the wonderful presentation and opportunity to speak. Yeah,
Yeah.
so just like Farouk said, the two are connected. As a business leader and HR lead, right? While the business leader creates the structure and the branding in terms of the mission and the vision
Vision.
statement,
Mhm.
it is also very important that the HR lead knows how to communicate this to employees. So communication is very, very key. It is not just about you having the structure or the branding. So how you communicate it also makes the difference. And so it's probably because they are not communicated well. That is why they are losing some talents, right? So communication is key. Another thing also I believe is mentoring, pairing new hires with senior hires, let's say maybe the team lead with a new hire. So it's very, very key. So it makes the new hires to feel they belong to the organization, not leaving them, guessing. No, guesswork is not good, right? So
Right.
pairing them with someone, it's very, very key. Another thing also is that employees are not just only interested in professional development, they are also interested in their personal development. So technical skills training is not enough. How about
Right.
soft skills training? So
Right.
providing these trainings would, balance everything, both professional training and personal development training. Very, very key. And
Mm.
lastly, because of time, I would also say that employees should be treated well because they are also customers. right? We have internal customers and we have external customers. But so many companies or some companies, they take advantage of the employees. They look down on them, talk to them anyhow. Why is it that companies are so quick to punish employees, maybe as a result of the wrongs they did or mistakes? They sanction them, they sack them, but they're not quick to appreciate them for the good
Right.
they have done. So I
Hmm.
think they should be treated well. So these are the things that will make employees to, be retained. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We had very, very intelligent, highly intelligent volunteers for this case study. Thank you. Thank you. I don't even need to add anything else to all that you folks have said. Thank you. Rita, could you please mute your mic? Rita, kindly mute, or admin, please mute Rita. Thank you. Thank you. Eight girl, you have your hand up. You have something to say with regards to the case study?
Yes. Please, can you hear me?
Your voice is really low.
Is it better now?
Still low.
Hello, is it better now? Can you hear me?
It's getting better.
Hello.
Okay, I think we lost you. We
But can
can't
you hear
hear
me
you
now?
anymore. Okay, yes, please go ahead. Eighth
Can
gear,
you
I
hear
think,
me?
yes, it's a lot better. So go ahead, please. You can speak now.
It just dawned on me that there's a need when addressing this because you can have great onboarding and there's a need after every quarter or yeah, just every quarter to everyone rereads their JDs again. That way the vision is just clear. You just keep looking at it. Okay, this is are the things I'm supposed to do. This is what my KPI is. This is what I'm supposed to do. And then that constantly reading and refreshing, it just helps with knowing exactly what you're supposed to do. So it's not just about reading it one time when it's sent to you when you're employed, but it's constantly read it again. When we update, you read it again. Every quarter, every whatever it is, you just reread it again. That way it's constantly before you and everybody knows exactly what they're supposed to do and what their KPIs are. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for that contribution. Love it. Absolutely love it. Because honestly, some people just read their JD once a year because they are stuck in certain roles. They feel like, okay, it's just I just have to do 5 things. But when you pick up your JD, you say, oh, wow, it's part of my JD. We are quick to say it's not part of my JD. Oh. Check your JD first. When they give you an assignment, you go and quickly check, it's in my JD. See, it's not part of my JD. Oh. It's not my job. The one that is on your JD, how many percent have you done? How many are you great at? So please, let's always read, go back to your job description. If it has changed, alert your manager, I have an outdated JD, please, it needs to be revised. Okay, thank you. Let's move on very quickly, wrapping up. So practical toolkits for you, this is part 3 of our talent management 101 class. So we have the recruitment checklist. And here's what you should have based off what we said today in class. Define the role clearly, the job description and the KPI, success metrics. What should you also have? The right sourcing channels, ATS. What job boards do we use? LinkedIn. Do you want to do LinkedIn Recruiter or LinkedIn Recruiters Lite or just the normal LinkedIn? Structure for selection. How many levels of interviews? If you have 4 levels of interviews, why? Please, can you tell us why you have 4 stages of interviews? Not assessment, not sourcing, CV screening, interviews. 4. Why? What? Why? What's going on? Practical task. I once undertook an assessment. I was on the assessment for 2 hours, and I was wondering what's going on. I was wondering what am I? Because I love to see things to the end. I said, you see this job application, I will finish it. No, I must finish it. I want to know what to come at the end of it. At the end of it, it wasn't even worth my time. The organization was not worth my time at all. At all. I left very early. Before 6 months, I think I left. 4 levels of interviews, unrealistic assessments for no just cause. Lots of people dropped off the hiring pipeline because they felt like these people don't know what they're doing. What made me stay, continue, was the job description. So that is where I got disconnected. The job description. It was organizational development. They needed to restructure the whole organization. I love that. I said, this one is my firepower. I need to keep at this. And so I got the job, and they're not ready to restructure. They're not ready to approve any HR metric, any HR initiative. Yet attrition was on an all-time high. In the next couple of years, if things don't change, that organization will fold up. Now, communicate clearly with candidates, both candidates and internal employees. What's your communication strategy like? Are employees left in the dark? Are candidates left in the dark? Document your decisions. Are you going ahead? Do you want to hire? Do you want to keep in view? What exactly? There has to be a reason for hiring. If you're hiring, give your reason. If you're keeping in view, give your reason. Next is the retention checklist. What should you do? Structured onboarding from day one matters. Before day one matters. Have culture and engagement activities, career development opportunities, recognition and fair compensation, stay interviews every 6 months. My people, why are you here? Why haven't you jackpot? If there is a word like that, why haven't you jackpot yet? In fact, when we're in the wave of jackpot, the organization I was leading their HR for, no one left. No one left. In fact, our retention rate was 99.9. 99.9. People, only one employee left within 2 years. And that was a trend. We only had exits within 2 years. Maybe one, maximum 2. I think the ones that left for Jackpa left not in the heat of Jackpa. They had stayed with the organization for about 7 years before they decided to relocate. And then the next exit was under 2 years. And then before myself, I left. So why do they stay? And guess what? We had our talents, our high talents were about 80% of the workforce. So they weren't just freeloaders. Because of our performance management policy, our performance management system. Even though we had worked remotely for 2 years in the heat of Japan, in the heat of COVID, we logged off in March. COVID, when we saw that COVID was in Lagos, that day I had a meeting with the GM. This is what is happening. Luckily for us, we had built structure for remote work before COVID, because every December we used to work from home. So we had that structure in place. A tech firm, senior engineers. I know how engineers move from organization to organization, but they stayed. The pay was good, the culture was good, the benefits was good. They were engaged. This was an organization that I did not have structure prior when I joined them. And then when I joined them, of course, a lot of change management happened. Two people left. They could not deal with the change anymore. It was like I've come to let's not go there. But after they are acclimatized, they stayed. So why are your people staying? And then for those HR people here, here's what you can do for your tech on the budget. Recruitment. For recruitment, you can use your Google form. You can use LinkedIn. You can use LinkedIn Jobs. You can use Test Gorilla. You can use Zoho. We actually use this in our firm. Yeah, we use everything here except one or two. So for your onboarding or HR system, you can use Zoho people. You can use Recruiter, Bamboo HR, Trello, lots of. Please give me 1 minute to attend to my little one. Oh, you can't see him. And so we have the engagement. For engagement, you can use Google surveys, WhatsApp groups, Slack, etc. Lots and lots of tools for you to use. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for staying up till now. Thank you. It's been a privilege. Awesome speaking to you. Now it's your turn. I'll be speaking. Let me hear you. Thank you. Mrs. Eric,
Thank you
over.
very, very much. It's been a very, very informative session. More or less like let's not stop. And we continue.
Thank you.
Not just informative, it has been very engaging. I love the drive. I love the fact that everybody kind of keys into what you're saying because it's a reality that we are all facing. And if we do not find a solution to it in terms of learning the ropes on how to ensure that we are not just recruiting, but we are able to retain the talent that we have that are working with us, being able to hold on to this talent goes a long way. And I won't even say much or I won't even say anything because you touched it all. You actually touched every area. And I'm sure that for a lot of HR personnel that are on this session today, they also would have taken not just one, a lot back. And for those that are in a business ecosystem as well, I'm sure they also would have taken a lot out. For the participant, I'd like to say that you can please reach out to Mercedes for more conversations and discussions that would help you put the right structures in place in your business and how you can go about it. Mercedes, do you want to do us the favor of leaving your email address and contact details? Oh, thank you very much. And please, I hope we're getting this slide so that we can share it with the participants. It will be a good one for them to have and refer back to. But I'd also like to say that please, you can also go to the LSETF YouTube channel to rewatch. I am actually going back there. That is how much this session has been very informative. I feel like I was telling myself while Mercedes was talking that I need to go back to YouTube, download this session, and then listen to it at my own time. So if I am actually thinking that, I feel like everybody on this session should also do that. Go back to the YouTube and not just lean on the slide that we'll be sharing with you. Please go back to the YouTube channel at LSETF and source out this very session and please listen all over to this session. It would do a whole good for you. But we already have up here Mercedes details. Our social media is at the Lady Mercedes. Okay, at the lady Mercedes. Yeah. And then our website is starguidehr.com. And also the ladymercedes.com. And then our phone number is there on the slide. It's 070-8181-9156. Thank you very much, Mercedes. It's been a whole wonderful session. You know those sessions that you don't want the facilitator to go, yet you're conscious of time, yet you want it to continue. Thank you for sharing your wealth of knowledge with us, and thank you for the wake-up call. It's actually on all of us, and for every participant, it's a wake-up call for you. You need to start imputing all of these learnings so that you're not just building a business, you're not just expanding your business, but you're attracting the right talent. And while you're at it, you're not just attracting the right talent, you are holding on to this talent. Who says you can have a talent that worked with you for years and you're able to even sit back at a point while that that talent becomes your succession plan and, your succession go-to person where you can sit back and this person takes over, and your business is not just a business for while you are still alive. It's a business for even after you're gone. People still refer to that business and then the culture remains the same. I'm just going to give a very quick instance of a business that I happen to experience, and I gave that feedback. I mean, I don't know if you've heard about Tom's Associates. So I happened to go there for a training and I kind of asked some question like, this looks like a business that has been in place even way back. Because I remember when I was very young, I usually see, bankers at the back of their cars, you see, this Tom Associates kind of, sticker on their car. And I happen to grow up and I'm still going there. You know what I mean? And I was very glad that, I was able to speak with the son of the owner, and he told me, oh, the dad actually, the in-law, so he married to the man's daughter, still very much alive, but he had all the succession plan in place. And the business is still growing as much as, it's the new vibe all over and all. There's the new vibe in it. The technology is in place, they have grown with the trends, but they still have that culture in place. The culture that makes people keep coming back. Do you get? And the culture that retains their facilitators to keep working with them. This goes a long way. Do you understand? And so I hope that our participants have been able to really take all of these cues and not just take them, you intend to work with them. So once again, thank you all very much for staying put. Thank you very much, Mercedes. We really appreciate you. But before we round it up and say, call it a day, I'd like to give Adewale. I was really hoping he was going to put his hand down at a point. But I just want to be sure that those hands are up to probably say something, or was it a hand that was up, before now? If it's a hand that was up, that hand must be paining you by now.
Oh, thank you so much, ma'am. However, thank you, ma'am. This is a new hand. I have a
Okay.
question actually. Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am, Mercedes. So my question is, I don't know why should organization prioritize skills to experience? Because why I'm asking that is so many people have the skills, but they don't have the experience. So why is it that some organizations are not giving them the opportunity to work with them? So I would like you to say something about that. And because this also it's affected me in one way or the other because I studied accounting. However, I'm very passionate about human resources. So what I did, because I don't have certification in human resources, so what I am doing is to volunteer, right? So I'm volunteering presently, but I'm looking for opportunity to work, for job opportunity to work, as an human resource manager. But I've not been able to get any job opportunity for now for that role, right? Because of I don't have the qualification and even the experience. So my question is, why is it that some companies are not prioritizing skills to experience? Because some people might have the skills, but they don't have the experience. So what do you have to say about that? Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you for that question. And you're speaking to someone that also transitioned into human resources. I transitioned to human resources after, I think, 6 years of my career life. And skills are in levels. So if you were in accounting and then you want to get into human resources, you need to ask yourself, what part of human HR can I get into like now? If I were to be a manager, I would prioritize experience, except when it's a volunteer position or an internship. If it's an internship, you can build your skills. If I have a role for a manager, an HR manager, I will prioritize someone that has experience on the job. Because how do you know that your skill is sharpened? How do you know you are sharp enough for that role to overcome the challenges in that role? And what is the time frame for you to hit the ground running? That is why there are different job cadres. For me, When I transitioned to human resources, guess what? My first degree, I studied botany, plant science. 6 years later, I started working in my final year. All right. So I was able, I'd done what I was in was part of human resources. I never knew, but I thought it was more of admin. So I'd done admin, I'd done customer service, I'd done quality assurance, I'd worked in two industries before I thought, hold up, I need to have a proper career, and where can I fit in? I chose human resources because it came to me naturally. So what I did to fit in was to get upskilled. I went for my MBA. That was my first master's degree years back, just so I can have one thing that will take me closer to my goal. I began to also, like you, I began to volunteer. I leveraged my admin background. I started with recruitment. In fact, I done recruitment while I was in school during ASU strike. I attended Unilag. So during ASU strike, I had done talent acquisition. I leveraged that. For you in accounting, the closest for you to get in now is through payroll. If you need to go and learn payroll, learn it. If you need to learn performance management, learn it. You have a higher chance of pivoting to payroll in HR because you studied accounting. And if you've practiced it before, that's so good. That's so good. You have your foot in the door already. So evaluate your skill set. That when it comes to payroll, your skill set can work for you, can talk for you. When it comes to performance management or employer engagement, because you haven't tried it or done it over and over again, there's no evidence. You know, we're at a point at a time where anybody can present certifications. I have 3 certifications. I have a second MBA. My first MBA was in HR. The second one was in general business, or is in general business. I have the global certifications. But anybody can have those things. Sometimes people just read and they know how to assimilate and put it down. But what puts pen to paper is your experience. If it's for a junior role, they'll prioritize your skill. Don't worry, you can grow on the role. Once you have problem-solving skills, your IQ is high. But for a managerial role, you're culturally fit, yes. The stakes are high. So they might not just hire based on emotions, but even as you're volunteering, it's still a job. It's a stepping stone for you. It doesn't matter if you're being paid or not, you're gaining experience, and that experience will speak for you. That is your leverage. I hope I've answered your question, Adewale.
All right. Thank you so much, Mom.
Thank you.
Once again, thank you very much, Lady Mercedes. And like I said earlier, it's been very engaging. And I think it's we just have to round up and say goodbye right now. If we go by how interesting this session is, we're just going to stay here, and trust me, there are lots and lots of things that we would probably be needing to talk about. But for the sake of time, and the fact that we all have other things to go back to. Like I said earlier, please go back to the YouTube and rewatch, and we'll do our possible best to share Lady Mercedes slides to you all so that you all can also look at it and take some pointers that you can also work with. And also, I would say that let it not just be the hearer, but please be the doer. We've said a lot on this platform today. We've said a lot on this session. I believe that all the things we've said, if we all pick 1 or 2 or 3 of those points and, make it a norm or a culture or something that we're working with, either in our business as a startup, as a startup owner, or as an entrepreneur, whichever way, whichever platform that we're going to use it for is definitely going to make a huge difference. So I would want us to please ensure that we do not just hear, but we act. Thank you very much once again, and it would be a good time to say goodbye. Thank you to you all. Do have a very wonderful evening. Lady Mercedes dropped our website, and Earlier on, she also dropped her contact details. Should you have any question for her, any discussion, any clarification, better still, you want her to help you with putting the structures that we're talking about in place, please feel free to reach out to her. And because you're coming from LSCTF, it's a discounted rate for you, actually. So you're definitely going to be getting that, that discounted rate opportunity. So please feel free to reach out to Lady Mercedes. And so thank you all, and do enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.